Hey everyone, can you hear me? Good. Good. I'm just trying to get this all going, so just bear with me here. I'm trying to get this stuff to run properly. Yes. Looks like I'm on Facebook now too. I'm going to see if I can add one more here. And all right. Let's see here. That one will have to wait. That one will have to wait. Okay. Alright, I'm going to do some drawing here. I'm just going to check here and see. So on my Facebook, I put up a thing requesting people give me suggestions for things to draw. So let me go through here and I'll read these, and everybody who is on right now, you can tell me which one you think I should draw or try to draw. You know, attempt is probably a better word for that. All right, let's go look at this post. Got quite a bit of activity. Rachel says, "Oh, hey, Griffey. How are you, buddy?" I'll make my day. Okay, Rachel asked if I could draw a spider. My friend Dave said I should draw him, and he'd be pretty good character to draw. He's got a real presence. B-Girl from Blind Melon. I do like that idea too. Crab cakes. I don't know if I can do that. Maybe, I guess I could. Christia says orchids. Somebody is suggesting to buy commissions from me in the form of NFTs. Something tells me that's bullshit. Brittany says silk moth. Rick says the Marty Robbins Gunslinger Ballads album cover, but with Kermit the Frog or Sweetums. That's a really good idea too. Jojo says dancing dandelions under an umbrella in the ocean type setting. Oh, and one of the dandelions is a mermaid, or just a bunch of dandelion mermaids. Billy says cows. Mandy says a black cat like one of those French girls. Al says a pug and a sidecar motorcycle. Shauna says anguish. That would be pretty much across the spectrum there. Annalise says humming squirrel. Constantly drinks nectar and forgets where everything is. Cute as fuck, of course. Catherine says a moose with a camera hanging from his antlers, a piece of material hanging from his mouth, and a tourist with a chunk of material ripped from his pants being held down by the moose's front feet. That's pretty detailed. What does Griffey want me to draw? Maybe that's what I should ask. Diana, are you still there? I have a couple of people on Facebook. So yeah, like shoot me a message on here if you can. That way I can see who's with me. I think if I'm going to choose one right now, I think I'm going to choose the B-Girl. Dandelion mermaid. Yeah. Yes, I could. I'm trying to think how I would do that though. Dandelion mermaid. All right, let's see what I can come up with. Paper. It's been a while since I've done this. So you're gonna have to forgive me for being a little bit slow on the draw because I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here as I'm doing it. You know, I think it's been more than a year since I've done this, and that's ideal situation for any of us, but it's been a crazy year. Ooh, there's Rachel. Draw a wiener with a big salt and pepper beard. That sounds like somebody we know. Happy Easter to you too. Yeah. FXR Dog 66. Good evening. What is your real name? I can't access that stuff from here. Hey Joel, how's it going? Where in northern BC are you? I've been requested to draw a dandelion mermaid as per my post on Facebook, and I'm gonna try. I mean, we have learned from guys like Bob Ross that there's, art is supposed to just be fun, so we'll see what we come up with. Hi, Jean-Pierre. I should get a perm and start painting. Yeah, I should. I hear perms are coming back, actually. I've heard a couple of people saying that their kids have been getting perms and stuff, and I remember being a kid and my mom and my sisters getting perms, and I just remember being able to smell it for days afterwards, all the chemicals, right? Boobs and thighs are always fun, yeah. Yeah, funny story, when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of money, the family didn't have a lot of money. It was my mom and my two sisters and I. And, one thing that we could afford was scrap paper and pencils. There was always lots of that stuff around. But, being that it was my mom and the two girls, there was always a lot of concern around protecting them, and sometimes it manifested itself in ways that sort of had an adverse effect. And one time I was doing drawings. I think I was actually, the more I think about it, the more I think I was copying it out of an Archie comic. But I was drawing a girl and a lady, and I gave her boobs, and my mom just like melted right down. 10-year-old boy, I wasn't supposed to be thinking about stuff like that. I mean, there was fully clothed. There was nothing, untoward about it, but it was, a big, source of panic for my mom for some reason or another. And so for the longest time, I wouldn't draw that stuff. And I didn't really until I went to art school, and we had like figure studies, and they made me do it there. And it was, there was no taboos attached to it. It was just doing art. Well, when I first got my tattoo apprenticeship, one of the conversations that my mentor had with me when I was first, when I was, essentially hanging out drawing, that part of the apprenticeship where I wasn't really doing any tattoo work yet. He confronted me on that, and he was like, I looked at your portfolio a lot. He goes, and I see lots of stuff, but I don't see three things in there that are pretty important. And I'm like, what's that? And he said, I don't see any. I don't see any skulls. I don't see any tits, and I don't see any cars. He says, and all that stuff is stuff that people want to get tattooed. Like, you need to be able to draw that stuff. And like when I first went to art school, I went to art school for a year out of high school, and one thing that they really tried to beat out of us was anything pop culture related. Like the head of the department specifically one time said she didn't consider unicorns, dragons, and skulls to be art. So if we were looking to pass the course or the program, doing stuff like that would be marks automatically counted against us. And so I just, I didn't really see a need to draw skulls, so I just didn't bother with it, And then, when the mentor said that to me, he was like, I don't see any skulls, tits, or cars. He got me to draw a pinup girl, and I did fine. And then he got me to draw a skull, and I did fine. And he was like, yeah, you know how to draw that stuff. You need to draw more of it. And I'm like, okay. And he says, okay, now I need you to draw a car. And when I drew the car, all I did was like circle, box, window, like a little kid would draw a car. I'm like, there's your car. And he's like, that's not a fucking car, dude. I'm like, that's how I draw cars. And he goes, yeah, you're gonna need to draw cars. Next time a car piece comes in, I'm booking it with you. And he did. The next time someone came in wanting a car tattoo, he booked it in with me. And it forced me to do a whole bunch of homework. So I did a bunch of homework on this car, and I did a bunch of studies and learned how to get the shapes of the car right and all that stuff. And I made this tattoo, and it was really successful. And for the next probably year and a half, I was the car guy, and I just did cars like constantly, drawing, tattooing cars constantly. So what I would do is in order to keep it interesting, towards my own, sort of tastes and whatnot, I tried to, steer the pieces towards like cartoons or rafting kind of cars, you know. So, yeah, no, you're right. I wasn't a 10-year-old perv, you know. Well, no more than anyone else is, I don't think. But, yeah, I think that it just, you know, being an artist in a non-artistic household left a lot of things to, you know, be concerned about. I think I'm going to make this dandelion mermaid lady playing an instrument of some kind, like a guitar. That's what it looks like her hands are doing. Hey Brittany, how are you? Good to see you. It's been a few minutes since you left your message. Hopefully you're still around. Yeah, so I don't know. Guitar? What kind of guitar? When Jojo requested this one, he had just posted a photo of him playing a classical guitar, so let's make it that. Make it a... Well, that's good to know. Genevieve, thanks. Yeah, and that could be what, you know, steered me towards the, you know, like sort of a cartoon kind of thing in my drawing style, because, you know, no one can get offended by, or very far less people get offended by cartoons. You know, or I'd hope that they would. Hey Howie, are you with us here? I saw you just signed in. Yeah, I'm doing all right, Brittany. Thanks. I need you to stop in one of these days so I can take a look at your piece that we did the work on there. I was really happy with that. I actually ran into the guy who did it about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He seemed to be pretty... he definitely knew that I had restored that piece. But, you know, he knew that he had failed, so... You know, unfortunately, we don't always bat 1,000, so I'm not a dick about it. Hey Brad, how are you, man? Great show yesterday. You guys sounded awesome. Super tight. I think instead of hair, I'm going to give this dandelion mermaid dandelion leaves. We'll use those to cover up her nipples, because this is a family show. And I don't know a more polite word for nipples than nipples, so, you know. What'd you guys end up doing for Easter? Anything fun? No, I know nipples isn't a bad word. I'm just trying to think if there's a more polite word for them, you know? Yeah, Brittany, that's all good. I know. Just be good to get a high five. You know what I mean? Come in and get a high five. Whenever you can, though. Don't go out of your way or, compromise, the things that you have to do. Because I'm always there. I'm easy to find. Yeah, it's good to have a quiet Easter. Get a long weekend with no surprises. I did lots of stuff, but I was it was all fun stuff. I worked Friday and Saturday. And Saturday night I went to a friend of mine's potluck and we played guitar a bit, and I fought through my social awkwardness for a few hours, and then Sunday I went to out to the family farm for dinner, which was nice to see everybody. And today is my dad's birthday, so we got to have like my stepmom made my dad's favorite cake, and we all got to do whatever, feel his presence as much as we could, with him no longer being with us. And then after that I went and watched a bunch of bands play. A bunch of my friends were playing there in town on Sunday night for 420. And yeah, today I had a hard time getting my ass out of bed even. And then I met up with Brittany and Brandon, and we took Wookie for a walk and had a coffee, and I went to the grocery store and came home. So it was a pretty good weekend, all things considered. And I'm gonna do a little bit of drawing here and kind of get a little bit of a feel for the live streaming again, because I plan to do a lot more of it. And then I'm gonna watch a hockey game. Yeah, I had a good weekend. It was nice. Boogie's been a really good little guy this weekend, he hasn't really caused a lot of havoc. He's being more like a grown-up dog these days. He's just about 4, he'll be 4 in May. And just like clockwork every year, he just gets to be a little bit better. Acts a little bit less like a shithead, Well, I'm glad that you guys are, with me on this, these live streams. It makes it all worth it, right? You don't feel so alone when you're doing that kind of stuff. I have a lot of really cool drawings that I've been kind of sketching in and getting ready to do stuff with. So, oh, hey, Liz, I talk more when I'm drawing. Yeah, anyway, I have a lot of really cool stuff, planned, drawings planned, and stuff, so, I hope to do this more, and, see what comes of it. I may end up doing some music too. My album is finished. I have an album of songwriter songs that's all finished. Trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with that now that it's done. Promotion-wise, because that's a whole different art form. But I definitely plan to do some a little bit of traveling, and take some of the songs for a spin, and then before I do the CD release, so I can kind of warm up on them. I've been thinking about getting Boogie a sibling, actually. But I don't know if that's going to be fair to everyone else in my life, because Boogie has been very much raised by the community. Like, he is, has always had, the people at the shop, and then my niece Kesa, there's just always been other people, helping with them. And I don't know if it's fair for me to just go and bring up a whole bunch more extra work for everybody to take care of them. Because, even just one, I can't take care of myself. It's a lot, I need the help of the community. Yeah, and like Boogie likes being an only child too, right? They can get expensive when there's lots of them, and they can fucking break a lot of shit too, especially if they get each other all pumped up on ideas and I have a friend who used to have two boxers, and she left them at home one day, and they literally ate her whole couch. And the last thing I need is to come home and find one of my guitars chewed up into toothpicks. Because then I'd be eating dog. Boogie likes to bury things. So my neighbor Kevin, he's awesome. And when Kevin's in the yard, Boogie just decides that I don't exist no more and goes running over to Kevin, regardless of what command I just gave him coming out of the house. And anyway, Kevin gives Boogie moose bones. And Boogie always takes him out into the backyard, and he'll spend about an hour chewing on it, and then he'll spend about 3 hours burying it, moving it, burying it, moving it, burying it, moving it. Yeah, moose bones are a fucking delicacy. Sully sounds like a troublemaker. Yeah, they're all little bastards when they're young, aren't they? My, I was having a discussion with my friend Caitlin about the same thing there a few weeks ago, and we agreed that puppy stage is overrated. It's a good thing they're fucking cute when they're that little. Because their personality is shit. Hi, Jesse. Liz is asking if I would get a non-dog pet. I really would like to get a bird. Actually, weird as it seems, I think that they're the fucking coolest. I love like I have so much content that's parrots and people talking about birds as pets and how they take care of them and all that. I feel like it wouldn't be fair for me to get a bird with how much I need to travel and whatnot for work. I don't know. I haven't met a lot of people who are bird owners who spend as much time on the road. Don't mind cats. I know Boogie would love a cat as a sibling. I'm not sure if a cat would like him as a sibling. Hard to say. Hey Trevor, how are you, man? Yeah, Genevieve, the first day that I owned Boogie, the first night at my house, he shit on my bed. And, it was the middle of the night, and he sounded like, he was, concerned. So I woke up, and, I picked him up, and I took him outside to, do his business, which he did. As well as on my bed. I didn't know about it though when I walked into my room, and in the night, it was night, and my bed sheets were like white with this black pattern on it, and I saw this spot where the pattern fell out of sync with the rest of it, and I naturally reached out and put my hand in the middle of it to see what it was, and it was a big lump of cold dog shit. So I jump out of bed gagging and run to the kitchen, wash my hands, and then take all the bed sheets off, clean the shit, take off the bed sheets, and put them down in the laundry, and then promptly had a shower because I felt like I was fucking filthy. And then I put on new bed sheets and got it all in, and I got settled in just in time to start thinking about waking up for my day. So yeah, that was the first day with Boogie. So anyone who's wondering what the hell it is that I'm drawing, on my Facebook, I, put out a thing saying I'm going to be drawing tonight and give me your requests. And Jojo requested Dandelion Head Mermaid, or Dandelion Mermaid, as he put it. Which, when I hear a suggestion like that, I always think they're trying to stump me. And, that kind of stuff does. But, and then when I first signed on, I asked what I read out the list of what everyone had requested, and Jessie was on first, and she said Dandelion Mermaid, so here we are, and I'm drawing one. And as I got the body all laid out, I felt like she looked like she was playing a guitar, so, and Jojo had just, the guy who had requested it, had just put a video online of him playing a classical guitar, so that's what I'm drawing. Yeah, there's something about sticking your hand or your foot or whatever in a bodily fluid that's been sitting in a spot long enough to go cold that, you know, it'll wake you up. Like, some people can't start their day without a cup of coffee waking them up, you know? But, I think that there's a case to be made that, you know, rolling over into cold puke could give you the same sort of energetic jolt first thing in the morning. Yeah, when I was a kid, I remember, like, I don't know, 5 probably. I was of the age where me and my older sister were still sharing a bedroom on the old farm, and she got sick, and I can't remember what she got sick with, but she had thrown up on her blanket on the floor, or thrown up all over her the bedclothes, and they were on the floor beside the bed. And when I got up, I stepped right into the cold puke, that's sort of my first foray into discovering that I don't like do well with other people's body fluids. You know, some are better than others. You know. There we go. Can you guys see it? Birds are, their blood is different. For me, I don't get as freaked out about it, but actually I get more freaked out about it now than I did before I was tattooing. And I learned that about 8 months or so into tattooing, I went hunting with Jojo, the guy who requested this drawing actually, and Lonnie. And we did good. We had a good hunt. Like, filled the fucking truck. And while we were dressing out this moose, at one point we had to dump all the blood from inside the body cavity out, and I got lightheaded. And that never would have happened, you know, before. It's just that I had spent so much time being super hyper vigilant about blood and stuff, being in a, you know, tattoo shop environment, that when I saw it I got queasy. But it was just that one time. I haven't really been like that since. But I'm definitely more aware of it than I was before. Yeah, I gave her dandelion leaves to come down and cover her nipples. I mean, I guess I could have used smaller dandelions too. That would have been definitely doable as well. Alright, April 21st, hey? I'll post a picture of this on my on the, you know, request post, and on my Instagram stories. And yeah, I had fun doing this. I'm going to be doing more of these. I'm going to start bringing some projects home, and I have some other projects that are going to be on the go for doing stuff like this. So keep watching if you can. I very much appreciate you guys. So yeah, take care.